Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a really fascinating cinematic concept. It's a movie that feels both brand new and, well, completely familiar.
Yeah.
We're talking about the totally original, never-before-seen epic movie adventure that you've definitely seen before.
Right. The title alone just grabs you, doesn't it? That immediate contradiction.
It really does. Makes you wonder about why we like stories.
Exactly. Is it always about something totally new, or is there, a real comfort in the familiar? This title, it kind of plays with both sides.
Precisely. And our goal here is to unpack this. Well, this concept film. It cheekily takes every single Hollywood trope you can think of and just dials it up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So picture this. You've got your down-on-his-luck everyman, a brilliant but pretty socially awkward scientist, and this super tough-as-nails female operative.
A classic trio.
Right. And their job, stop a supervillain who has this amazing, vaguely European accent, naturally from blowing up the moon, with a giant laser.
Yes, a giant laser. You need that.
And the best part is, they hit every single predictable plot point you'd expect along the way.
And that's the key, isn't it? That really overt self-awareness.
Yeah.
It's not trying to fool you.
No.
It's like it's inviting you, the audience, into the joke.
Yeah.
Saying, look, we all know these beats. Let's just lean in and have some fun with it.
And the whole idea is just so audacious.
Yeah.
Cramming an insane number of cliches into like 90 minutes.
Yeah, the density.
The humor comes from that density, that relentless piling on, and, we get that little kick out of spotting each one.
It really makes you think about how much of our, shared movie language is built on these patterns, these tropes.
Mm-hmm.
And by taking that and just exaggerating it like this, the film isn't just being funny, it's almost dissecting the DNA of blockbuster movies.
Totally. Even the trailer script they mocked up gets in on it right away. Starts with this huge, dramatic orchestral swell.
Oh, yeah, you know the one.
And then, boom, record scratch.
Yes.
Instantly tells you, okay, this isn't your standard action flick.
That one sound, the record scratch, it's so effective. It's this immediate audio cue telling you to expect the, unexpected. Or maybe expect the familiar but twisted.
Right.
Sets the stage for that meta commentary from second one.
And that's the unique hook, isn't it? Not just the tropes, but the sheer volume. It turns watching it into this game, spot the trope.
Yeah, a metagame.
Okay, let's dive into some of these characters, these archetypes. First, Jack, everyman manly.
Ah, Jack. He's the classic down-on-his-luck guy.
Yeah?
Fired from some generic office job.
Let's try.
Dumped via fridge note.
Oh, the fridge note. Brutal.
Lives in a messy apartment,
Yeah.
naturally, with a golden retriever who's just way too understanding.
Gotta have the dog.
But the key thing is he's the chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
And the reasons why are, let's say, very convenient for the plot.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
The film makes a point of never really explaining why him. It's such a clear wink at that trope.
Hmm.
How often movies just, hand wave that away and expect us to just go with it.
It makes you think about suspension of disbelief, doesn't it? How much we're willing to just accept. This ordinary person suddenly has the fate of the world on their shoulders.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Then there's Dr. Anya Smarty Pants, the brilliant scientist.
Right. And she's got the secret knowledge, like how humans only use 10% of their brains.
Oh, that old chestnut.
And she can hack anything. Global conspiracies, super fast. 30 seconds, maybe.
Only after she takes off her glasses and lets her hair down, right?
Crucially, yes. And that's where the satire really bites, with that genius female scientist trope.
How so?
Well, there's often this link made in movies, sometimes subtle, sometimes not, between a woman's smarts and how conventionally attractive she is.
Ah, right. The transformation.
Yeah, the glasses come off, the hair comes down,
Yeah.
and suddenly she's not just brilliant, she's also, desirable in that standard Hollywood way. And that 10% brain thing is just perfect movie pseudoscience.
It's like the film is just holding up a mirror to how superficially intelligence, especially female intelligence, gets shown sometimes. Okay, next up, Roxy Hardcore McBain.
Roxy,
Yeah.
your classic tough-as-nails operative.
Yeah.
Ex-military, maybe CIA, you know the type.
Mm-hmm. Kicks butt.
Oh, yeah, formidable fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Takes down rooms full of goons. But, predictably, she melts for our hero after one heartfelt conversation.
Of course she does.
And reveals this hidden vulnerability that only Jack, our everyman, can possibly unlock.
She is the absolute definition of the tough girl with a soft center cliche. The film really seems to be poking fun at how often strong female characters get this, frankly, kind of tired arc.
Yeah, where they suddenly need the male lead to complete them emotionally.
Exactly. Why can't she just be strong?
That seems to be the satirical question, yeah. Why does strength need this romantic softening?
And then The villain, Baron von Evilstein, I mean, the name alone.
Oh, absolutely. Sets the tone perfectly.
Yeah.
He's the diabolically vague supervillain. You could practically hear that unidentifiable European accent.
Totally. And he's got the scar.
Mandatory scar.
The fluffy white cat he's always stroking.
Menacingly, of course.
And, naturally, a volcano lair. Because where else?
Where else would you put your giant moon laser? And his motives, beautifully generic. Power, making the world pay. That kind of thing.
He's just a mashup of every action movie bad guy stereotype, and that vagueness is the joke.
Exactly. It's like, do we always need some super deep, complex motivation? Or is the evil laugh and the cat enough sometimes?
Seems like this film thinks so, and we can't forget the supporting players, the comic relief.
Ah, yes, the bumbling sidekick, always messing up.
Until he accidentally saves the day somehow.
Right at the last second. And the mentor.
The older, wiser guy gives cryptic advice.
And then dies tragically to motivate the hero.
Check and check.
And calling them by their function, comic relief, mentor instead of names. That's just brilliant.
It really underscores the whole point, doesn't it? Dissecting the formula. They're not people, they're plot devices.
Walking, talking narrative roles.
Right. It's like a field guide to Hollywood storytelling.
Right.
We actually put together a little chart summarizing these archetypes. Looking at them all together, what really jumps out?
Just how deliberately they're built from these instantly recognizable bits and pieces.
Yeah.
You see Jack Manley and you immediately picture 5 other movie heroes. It's that familiarity that lets the satire work so well.
Okay, let's get into the plot itself. Or maybe the extremely predictable chain of events. Act 1, first 30 minutes, the inevitable call to adventure and trope-filled setup. Off we go.
Right, so we dive straight in. Opening chase scene, in media res, Roxy's dodging exploding fruit carts.
Why are they always exploding?
For absolutely no reason. It's just excitement. And she's clutching the MacGuffin.
Which is?
A glowing USB stick, naturally. The MacGuffin, that thing everyone wants but doesn't really matter itself, just drives the plot.
Love those exploding fruit carts, pure visual noise. And then we meet the everyman, Jack. He's having the worst day.
Cartoonishly evil boss, the whole 9 yards.
Gotta establish that mundane life before chaos erupts.
And chaos erupts in the most cliched way imaginable. The chosen one reveal. Roxy literally bumps into Jack, drops the glowing USB.
You can't make this stuff up.
Well, they did. It doesn't get more convenient than that, does it?
Nope. Leads right into the classic I work alone dance.
They need to team up.
All that reluctant hero stuff,
Yeah.
which obviously leads straight into a car chase where Jack, our desk jockey, suddenly drives like a pro stuntman.
Ah, the instant skill download. A classic. The plot needs it, so boom, he could drive.
Then we get the exposition dump. Dr. Anya in her ridiculously high-tech lab.
Seriously, where does the funding come from?
Right, and she explains the whole moon laser plan using the lovely 10% of our brain myth as justification.
Leaning right into that movie science. Sounds just sciencey enough, you know.
Barely. And Jack's big reluctant hero moment, his heartfelt why me?
Met with Dr. Smarty Pants, equally heartfelt, but totally vague. You're the only one who can?
It's like dialogue Mad Libs for action movies.
It's perfect shorthand, isn't it? Resistance, mystical potential, zero logical reason, done.
Then, gotta have the mentor's introduction. Wise old guy, dusty shop, or maybe a dojo.
Check. Hands over a mysterious amulet. Offers cryptic advice.
Followed immediately by the training montage, compressed, like 30 seconds flat.
Yeah, 3 quick cuts, bam!
Yeah.
Jack's now a super spy ninja.
That compressed montage is brilliant. Just highlights how movies skip the actual hard work. Instant expert.
Gotta move the plot, you know? No time for actual training.
So this whole first act is just cramming in foundational tropes like crazy. That 30-second montage sums it up perfectly. Just frantic cliche deployment.
Okay, on to Act 2, minutes 30 to 75. Confrontations, complications, and a cascade of cliches. The stakes are supposedly rising, and so is the trope count.
So first up, infiltrating the lair. Baron von Evilstein's Volcano HQ.
Of course. And naturally, it's guarded by the most hilariously inept guards ever. Did they even go to henchman school?
You'd think world domination plans would include better security, but nope. Leads right into the slow walk.
Ah, the hero's walking away, slow motion, from an explosion.
That conveniently goes off right behind them for maximum cool factor.
Pure style over substance. The timing is always perfect, isn't it?
Always. Then the classic tactical blunder. Let's split up, we'll cover more ground.
Which always leads to someone getting captured. Always.
You can set your watch to it. No rational person does that, but the plot needs it.
Got to create those individual perils, Raise the fake stakes.
And then we get the near kiss interruption. Jack and Roxy lean in, sparks fly,
Almost.
and bam, alarm, henchman, anything to stop the kiss.
Got to keep that romantic tension simmering, right? Can't resolve it too soon. Keep the audience hooked.
This capture leads right to the capture and villain monologue. Baron gets to lay out his whole evil scheme.
Often with some flimsy childhood sob story that somehow justifies, blowing up the moon.
And he's got to throw in the line, doesn't he? We're not so different, you and I.
Oh, it's mandatory. That attempt at a false moral equivalence. Classic villain playbook.
Then we get this rapid fire sequence. The one tiny sip disaster character gets totally hammered off like a thimbleful of booze.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Then the air vent crawl. Through vents that are always huge and spotless.
Right. Big enough to drive a small car through. And then the whisper, it's quiet. Too quiet.
Just before the ambush. Every single time.
The film is just ticking boxes at this point.
Gleefully. And when things look darkest, what arrives?
The Deus Ex Machina, the cavalry, maybe the MacGuffin has a secret function?
Or, my favorite possibility, Jack's golden retriever somehow snuck into the volcano lair
No.
and chews through a vital cable.
Okay, that's inspired absurdity. I love it. Highlights how random those saves can feel.
Totally unearned, comes out of nowhere. Then the I have to do this alone sacrifice door.
Oh, God, yes. Character holds the door. Go, save yourselves. Even though there's clearly time for everyone.
And we all know they'll be fine later. Spoiler. Followed by the tense wire-cutting scene.
Is it the red wire or the blue wire? Dun-dun-D-U-N.
Pure, unadulterated cliche. The audience is laughing with the movie by now. We know the drill.
Act 2 is also packed with one-liner overload, just constant quips.
And lots of gratuitous bullet time or slow-mo action shots. Gotta have those.
And of course, it wouldn't be Act 2 without the mentor's death.
Meaningful, tragic,
Yeah.
utterly predictable.
Complete with the final cryptic words, use the amulet, Jack.
It's practically a requirement. The mentor has to die to give the hero that final push. The specific last words just make it funnier.
So yeah, Act 2, all about fake suspense, predictable escapes. The film's just winking at us constantly. We know it's coming.
Okay, Act 3.
Yeah.
The big finish. 75 to 90 minutes. The grand finale of foregone conclusions and sequel bait.
Kicks off with the final confrontation. Jack versus the Baron. Jack might be shirtless now.
For added drama. Natural. And someone absolutely has to yell, he's behind you.
It's the law. You can't have the final fight without it. Then the villain's death fake out.
Right, he falls into lava or off a building. Looks dead.
But he's not. He comes back for the real villain death.
Which is often surprisingly silly. Maybe the comic relief trips him.
Anticlimactic, yeah. It's about twisting that expectation just a tiny bit while still giving us the expected beat.
The fake out gives that false sense of victory before the often funnier real ending for the bad guy.
And all this is happening while the countdown timer for the moon laser ticks down.
Excruciatingly slowly, then suddenly very fast. Needing
Your
to...
last second save? They stop the laser with 1 second left, always 1 second.
You could calibrate atomic clocks by it. It's so common it's basically parody already. The
Ugh.
film just embraces it.
And the character who did the sacrifice returns. Roxy walks in, maybe a bit dusty.
Completely unharmed. Says something deadpan like, what took you so long?
Perfect. Just completely deflates any real drama from the sacrifice, keeps it firmly in spoof territory.
Exactly. No actual stakes allowed here.
This all leads to the big kiss, Jack and Roxy, sunrise backdrop, maybe the lair exploding prettily in the distance.
While Dr. Smartypants beams knowingly. And then everyone laughs.
All the trauma, the near-death experiences, forgotten, happy ending.
The neat little Hollywood bow. Ignore the therapy bills later.
Well, wait, it's not over. Gotta have the sequel tease.
Mid-credits, post-credits. Von Evelstein's cat now has a tiny monocle.
Or someone picks up a glowing piece of the laser wreckage, hinting at more.
It's the industry saying, hey, we could do this all again. Even in a film mocking repetition.
And the final kicker, a sarcastic title card. Based on a true story. Not really.
Or maybe, actually, none of this was true, but it would have been cool, right? Just one last wink.
Act 3 is all about giving the audience exactly what they expect, just maybe turned up slightly or with a little comedic twist, that knowing nod.
So how does all this pileup of predictability actually work as a spoof? Let's talk the art of the spoof.
Okay, a big part is definitely humor through exaggeration and absurdity.
Yeah, those exploding fruit carts again. Cars blowing up from a tiny bump. A single gunshot causing a massive fireball.
And that ridiculous sacrifice at the door when everyone could have easily escaped.
The film just takes things that are already a bit silly in action movies and cranks the absurdity way, way up.
It's like it's saying, you thought that was ridiculous, watch this. It forces you to see how absurd the original tropes often are.
Right. It taps into that feeling we sometimes get watching movies like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. This film just screams it.
And then there's the constant sarcasm and self-aware commentary.
All through it. Starts with the title, continues with that sarcastic announcer voice in the trailer.
And narrator lines breaking the fourth wall, like, why him, don't ask. Or those little notes like, we'll be fine.
That self-commentary creates this great connection with the audience. It's like we're all in on the joke together.
Turns watching it from passive viewing into, like, a shared critique, which is way more fun.
Totally. And the dialogue itself is just dripping with echoing and mocking cinematic conventions.
Oh, yeah. It's a greatest hits of cliche lines. I work alone. Why me?
It's quiet. Too quiet. We're not so different, you and I.
Is it the red wire or the blue wire? Go! Save yourself!
He's behind you. What took you so long? It's relentless.
And the one-liner overload. Plus, that idea from the trailer. A really cheesy one-liner followed by a canned laugh track.
Oh, that's brilliant. Like auditory punctuation for the cliche.
These lines are so burned into our brains, they instantly signal the trope. It's super efficient comedy and satire, especially for audio.
Which brings us neatly to sounding out the satire. How do you translate all these visual jokes and expected moments into audio? The trailer script gives us big clues.
Yeah, that opening record scratch after the dramatic music, pure audio satire, sets the tone immediately.
And that upbeat, slightly sarcastic announcer guides us through the sonic cliches.
The trailer's sound montage, too. Car explosion like a firecracker, the Wilhelm scream.
Enhance the dramatic door slam. It's like a tasting menu of trope sounds.
And those specific audio gags, the can laugh, the off-key fanfare with the slow-mo, they work because we know the original so well.
Exactly. They rely entirely on our shared audio library from watching movies.
And the trailer's fast pace, mirroring the film's supposed relentless, dizzying feel that works well in audio too, gives you that sense of being bombarded by tropes.
The trailer really leans heavily on sound for its satire. It's a great model for how an audio deep dive like this can capture that same spirit.
So thinking beyond just the trailer, what other key sound effects could really sell the parody in audio?
Ooh, you can easily imagine, like ridiculously over-the-top combat sounds for Roxy, super fast, frantic typing for Dr. Smartypants hacking,
Blaring alarms that go on forever, the countdown timer beeps, speeding up impossibly fast.
and explosions, a whole range, from tiny pops for comedic effect to huge screen-shaking booms that are completely disproportionate.
Each sound becomes like a little flag, signaling, here comes a trope. The Wilhelm scream is practically its own punchline now.
Totally. In audio, these aren't just background effects. They're crucial tools for evoking the visual cliche and getting the laugh. Auditory shorthand.
Now, the tricky part. Translating purely visual tropes. Like, how do you convey running away from an explosion without looking, just with sound?
That's where description and tone are key. The narrator describes the casual walk away, while you hear this massive explosion sound swell up and then just cut off abruptly. The sarcastic delivery sells the joke.
And for enhance.
Okay, you pair the command with that exaggerated whirring, beeping, digital sound. Maybe make it sound slightly glitchy or ridiculous. Paints the picture.
So the narration has to actively paint the picture, explicitly name the visual trope sometimes so the listener gets the joke, bridging that gap.
Exactly. Okay, let's hit the trope compendium, the bonus extras sprinkled throughout.
These just add to the sheer density, right? Things like the problematic magic Negro Asian ethnic best friend trope.
Yeah, the Wilhelm scream popping up again and again. Stormtroopers can't aim. Classic.
Infinite ammo, never reloading, the convenient misunderstanding to create drama. Dr. Smartypants yelling enhance at a blurry photo.
And stylistic things, like using way too many Dutch angles whenever this villain is on screen.
To show how evil he is. The convenient news report delivering plot points on TV.
And the hero walking away from your exploding car unscathed. Not even singed.
Plus, maybe the one woman in a group of men issue if Roxy's isolated, and you just know there'd be some really obvious product placement.
Oh, for sure. A lingering shot on a soda can.
So these aren't just random. They're chosen to just saturate the film completely. What's the overall effect of piling all these on top?
It's comedic overload. The sheer number becomes the joke itself. It turns the film into this almost encyclopedic catalog of cliches.
Mm-hmm.
You reach this saturation point where it's just this dizzying, funny barrage. It's not just using tropes, it's drowning in them.
Like the film is challenging you. Think you've spotted them all? Think again. Here's more. That overload is the point. We've got another table listing some of these bonuses. Looking at it, what stands out?
Just how pervasive these things are. Even the minor ones add to that feeling of, oh yeah, that happens in movies all the time. It all reinforces the meta-commentary.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive into the totally original, never-before-seen epic movie adventure that you've definitely seen before, it's pretty clear this concept is more than just jokes. It's commentary.
Absolutely. It's using humor to look at how Hollywood tells stories, the power of parody. It kind of questions why we see the same formulas over and over.
Right. The title itself points to that cycle.
And that line about how we're meant to laugh at the sheer audacity of it all while secretly enjoying the familiar beats, that nails it.
Yeah, there's this affection, almost, for the cliches being mocked.
It taps into that weird relationship we have with these formulas. We roll our eyes, maybe.
But we also kind of like the comfort food aspect.
Exactly. There's a predictability we expect, maybe even crave on some level.
So this kind of super self-aware satire works on a few levels, doesn't it? It feels smart, you feel like you're in on the joke.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny as straightforward comedy, but also as this meta-commentary thing.
And crucially, even though it's meta, the tropes are so common, pretty much anyone who watches movies will get it. You don't need a film degree.
Right. Action movies, sci-fi. These cliches are everywhere.
That line from the trailer again, you already know the answers. It's so key. It validates your own movie-watching experience. Makes you feel included.
Yeah, ultimately, I think this kind of satire works because it confirms what we've already noticed. It makes you feel clever for spotting the patterns, and we get to share this fun deconstruction of movies together. It's finding originality by just completely embracing the unoriginal.
A paradox that sounds surprisingly entertaining.